Hi, this is Cherie with Rehash Fiber. Today I'm going to share with you the Cariad hat. Welcome, fiber artists. I've got a great hat to share with you today. I'm going to give you a little background before we jump right into it. Last Thanksgiving, my mom saw a knitted cap that I was wearing and she said, "Oh, I'd like a knitted cap." So isn't it great when we get a chance to make something for our loved ones? I love it. Shortly after that, I saw the post on Instagram from 4 Pearls of this exact hat with this color and everything. And I thought, pow, there we go. We've got our hat. I'm going to jump into it. It is called the Cariad and it is by Weird Sheep. Her website is weirdsheep.com and at Instagram it's at weird.sheep. The yarn that 4 Pearls had in the picture and then on display is Emma's yarn in Bodacious Bulky. And the colors are great because it is a variety of colors and it kept the project very interesting because I love it when I'm knitting and I see different colors running through. Very fun. It's a great pattern to do. It starts from the brim and you work your way up. So you do some ribbing and then there's a whole lot of knitting, and in the center section you have the cable pattern. It calls for a size 10 needle, and with my gauge I went down to an 8 and I used a 16-inch circular, and you can do that all the way until you get to the very top. So what I want to tell you is if you are familiar with cabling, it's going to be fine. It's great. She has each row laid out and then the directions for your cables right over here. So you could just bounce back and forth and just keep the flow going. If you're iffy about cables or have never done them before, at the end of the video, I have a demonstration of each one so that you can see how it's done. If you've never done them before, I say go for it. Why not? It's fun. And when you start doing cables, you realize, oh, that's not so bad. You just have to do this and that and no big deal. So I know that's easy when somebody who knows how to do it says it, but I'd say give it a go. The pom-pom was at 4 Pearls too, but I'm going to tell you where you can get it. It is called Ikigai Fiber. It's a lovely pom-pom, and what I thought was great is that it has 2 ribbons attached to it that you poke through the top of the hat and just tie in a bow. So if the person you give it to, or you, do not want to have a pom-pom that day, you can easily just pop it off and you have your beanie. And if you want it, you just stick the ribbon back through, tie it, you're good to go. So I thought that was great. And their tip on here was if you want your pom-pom to look fluffy again, just run a blow dryer over it and it helps foof it out. You work this in the round. And when you first start making the band, I still, when I do it and it says join in the round and don't twist, I always end up twisting somehow. So I've learned work back and forth for a few rows and then join in the round. And then for sure you know it's not twisted. And when you're doing the finishing in the end, you just sew up that seam. You never even know you did that, and it saves you time and frustration. So that's my tip for that. It is a really fun project that you can do in a weekend or in a day if you really go at it. It is a 1 skein project, but what I want to tell you, they gave me this tip when I was at 4 Pearls, is that there is the pattern repeat, and the pattern calls for 4. You're going to do it a total of 4 times. They told me only do it 3, but she also tells you in the pattern to measure. So when you get done with a pattern after 3 repeats, measure it to see if you're at 8.5 inches. If you are, you can finish out the cap. So using different yarns and different needles, you never know how it's going to go for you. So always do the gauge, and then you can always measure as you go to make sure that things are working out right. So there you go. You have your nice Cariad cap. Anything that I'm working with that I think is great, I'm going to share with you because you may think that too. So I want to tell you, 3 Waters Farm does great fiber for spinning. The dyeing is just beautiful. And check out some of their pictures here. Stuff like this is what gets me hooked. I did join their Fiber of the Month Club for 6 months. I would do it for an eternity, except I have a closet full of fiber that needs to be spun. The colors are so much fun that when I would get it in the mail, I wouldn't start spinning it that day because I couldn't stand it. I had to see what it looked like. So today I want to thank the Patreons that are supporting the show. It means so much to me that you are helping me do this so I can share it with everybody. It's a great journey and exploration to be in of all of this fiber, everything, and then to turn around and share it with all of you. Just want you to feel and see the greatness that is out there, that everything we can do with our hands and our minds and just have so much fun. So thank you, Patreon members that are supporting the show. And if any of you would like to, you can go to the Patreon, which is on my website, rehashfiber.com. Check it out. Give a little bit each month. You help keep this fiber show going, sharing it with the world. Don't forget about merch. It's there too. You want your globe of yarn because fiber is everywhere around the planet. I'll tell you one story. I was in a little bitty town in Peru. Down by the train station, an older woman was just sitting on a bench knitting. And I'm like, it's everywhere. So there you go, the globe of yarn. That is it for today. Enjoy the Cariad cap. I know my mom will. All right, everybody, happy knitting, and thanks for watching. Cable stitch C4B. Slip 2 stitches to the cable needle and hold them to the back. Knit the next 2 stitches. Next, you need to knit the stitches from the cable needle. So we're going to transfer them back to the left knitting needle and knit those 2 stitches. That is C4B. C4F. Slip 2 stitches onto the cable needle and hold to the front. Knit the next 2 stitches. Then knit the 2 stitches from the cable needle, so you need to put them back on the left needle and knit these 2. C4F. CR4B. We slip 2 stitches to the cable needle and hold up to the back. Knit the next 2 stitches. Transfer the stitches on the cable needle back to the left needle and purl these 2 stitches. So bring the working yarn to the front and purl. CR4B. CL4F. Slip 2 stitches to the cable needle, hold to the front. Purl the next 2 stitches. Transfer the 2 stitches from the cable needle back to the left needle and knit these 2 stitches. CL4F. CR3B. You slip 1 stitch to the cable needle and hold it to the back. Knit the next 2 stitches. then purl the stitch that was held on the cable needle, so you need to pass it back over to the left needle. Bring the yarn to the front for the purl, and then purl that stitch. And that is CR3B. CL3F. Slip 2 stitches to the cable needle and hold to the front. Now purl 1 stitch, so working yarn is to the front, purl the next stitch, then knit the 2 stitches from the cable needle. So I'm bringing the working yarn back to the back, and I'm transferring these from the cable needle back to the left needle, and then I'm going to knit them. That is CL3F.